Morning, everybody.
Hello, hello, hello.
Were you able to find the live, Deb?
Yeah, I found it.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
I think when you go through your subscriptions and you punch on somebody that you want to see, it should take you to their channel. But
Yeah,
it doesn't. It takes you someplace else. And then you have to click on visit channel.
and then if we have all our lives
Yeah, you don't
scheduled,
know which one it is.
you have to find the dates. I try to
Yeah.
date mine so that way you know which one is what, but I don't always do a good
Well,
job.
on the phone, all you see is sevens.
Good morning, everybody.
How are y'all?
Well, Deb, you always have the honors to welcome everybody in.
Oh,
Welcome, everybody in.
let's see. And looky, who was the first one in the house today?
You were,
Me.
and you got the number one crown for a little while. It got
I
changed
did for a little bit, yeah.
a little bit.
Well, besides me, I see Melanie and I see Sheila. This is early for Sheila.
Yes.
And we got Judy. It's early for Judy. I can't get my face in here. It shouldn't be hard. My face is big. And we got Teresa Lynch. Good morning, Miss Teresa.
That's right, Nikki. It's romper room time.
And Miss Dawn. I can't get this in my face. Miss Dawn is here. And Brenda Foley. Good morning. Zaza.
Good morning.
Nikki Bay.
Morning.
Oh, look at that. That Deb S. She went, hey.
Oh,
let's see. It says upcoming. Well, they all say upcoming when they're scheduled, Miss Melanie. Oh, Melanie went, woo. I think y'all like this. And then there's Miss Lori, the one I always want to say morning glory. Oh, and I'm caught up.
good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Mr. Jim. Mr. Jim is in the house.
Oh, you guys are so funny. And Sheila, I'm going to tell you, I have been dealing with allergies. I have a frog in my voice. I do not think there will be any soothing voice commentary that will lull you to sleep today.
I keep having to clear mine, too.
It sounds like I've got this frog stuck on my throat. Oh, and everybody is just saying good morning to everybody. Good morning.
Sheila says that Deb S is full of energy this morning.
She is. She just kind of turned it on.
I slept really good last night. You know, it seems lately I've been waking up every 2 hours, and it's just like I don't get enough sleep. Yesterday morning, I was up at 3 in the morning, but now I slept really good last night, and I've had breakfast. So that makes a difference too when you actually eat something that you really like.
I'm looking at some of the comments. Honey would probably any help with my throat. I just normally suck on a lot of throat lozenges.
Sheila says that your voice is still soothing.
You know it. Nikki B, yeah, mode is high. It's been raining. I just have allergies. Jim, your wife likes the quilt hanging behind me.
Yeah.
I can teach her. This can be her first quilt.
There you go. There you go.
It is a super easy, beginner friendly quilt. Super, super easy. Beginner friendly, not a lot to it. All, no curves, nothing. Mrs. Jim.
This is going to be my first one out of the Flower Farm sampler.
Let me find you to make you bigger so you can show it.
That's going to be my first one. I have to make 3 of them. They're 8 inches. And I don't know why they started at the back of the book. And then this one over here on this page.
Uh-huh.
That one's my next. God, why can't I? There we go. That one's the next one.
Are they all HSTs or are you, or I shouldn't say, but
Well,
hi,
it looks
Melissa.
like it looks like it. Yeah, they're half square triangles. Half square triangles and squares.
Good morning, Susan.
And I got to make 3 of those blocks too, and they're 8 inches.
Lori wants to know if you have the kit, Deb.
Yes, I do. It finally came. Oh, one day this past week here.
Sheila wants to know if you have all your fabric pulled for the flower garden quilt.
For this one? Ugh. God, I can't pick it up. Here's the kit.
Here, let me make you bigger again. That's pretty. Some pretty fabric.
You might be able to see them better back here.
Yeah, it's pretty.
And this green right here, that is going in the middle of the first block that I showed you. So this afternoon, I'm going to be cutting that out. And I know I told you all I was going to work on the Geo Chick later today. And I've got it all cut out. But let me tell you that the lining was an inch different on the whole thing. And I'm like, that can't be right. So I trimmed them down to match the front.
It was shorter, or it was, well, the pictures I saw was smaller, right? It could have been because you don't want all of that tied up in the bulk. Because I always cut mine a 1/2 inch to 1 inch down whenever I'm making a bag, because I just don't like all that bulk when you're turning.
Well, it told me to cut the stabilizer the same size. I'm like, okay, I can do that. And remembered that my fabric was hanging out a 1/2 inch on the top and the bottom. I cut it off. Per Mona, I cut it off.
Oh. Well, Mona is the bag maker, so.
But she also said that she does it where the stabilizer's a 1/4 of an inch smaller. Well, I already had it glued down, so I couldn't cut that down anymore.
Well, in the last 2 days, I've been on this little fabric or and notions thing all week long, all week long. Because that's the kind when I have a stressful week at work, I shop for fabric. And and there was Fat Quarter Shop had this bundle that was on sale. I mean,
Yeah, I was looking at it.
a really good bundle. And I tried to resist and tried to resist. I was going to be good. And guess what ended up in my cart? And I purchased it.
Well, it was in my cart for a while.
I,
For a good while, it was in my cart, and
Good morning,
I
Fern.
went in and hit the little remove button because I'm like, I don't have a project for it, so
Oh, it was such a good price. And Sharon J convinced me to purchase it.
look at Nikki. You caved.
I did. I caved.
Good morning, Fern. How are ya?
Oh,
Oh, oh, oh. Good morning, Fern. I bet your name never got called on Miss Romper Room.
Zaza's Tilda arrived on Friday. But okay, so I shared this when we were on Discord on Thursday. I shared it. Jim, you were not there. You were otherwise engaged.
Good morning, Melissa.
Sheila said the basic gray bundle. No.
It was the bundle that was only on sale yesterday.
Oh, Friday. It was only
Friday, yeah.
So
it was only on sale Friday, and they sold it out.
Yep. And it was in my cart, and I'm glad that I put it in my cart. And I had put a link to it. I don't even think that it's the link will work anymore.
Good morning, Margaret.
Good morning, Margaret. So it is, hold on, because I don't want to get it wrong.
Oh, Zaza says she's getting ads in the chat space.
I don't know. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I didn't realize that Margaret was from Australia.
That, yes.
We got an Aussie in the house.
It is. Oh, I can't even find it now. I'll tell y'all in the thing, or you can go into Discord. Oh, maybe it's because, I have multiple email accounts, and my my shipping notifications go to whatever is connected to whatever account. So it is like, I got a notification it was delivered, so it made it out the door. But I don't have Fat Quarter Shop on this thing. Oh, that says yay! It's your order has been delivered, and it was.
I only have 2 accounts, and
So
one I barely check.
okay.
I only check it if I can't find it in the one that I look at every day.
So it was the Rosemary Cottage Fat Quarter bundle.
Yes, all I could think of was cottage.
That was 40 fat quarters, and it was the Camille Ross Kelly from Moda Fabrics, and it was $85 for a 40 fat quarter bundle.
Good morning, Susan.
Good morning, Susan again. Susan again. So I was going to tell you, and I mentioned this, and Deb, I don't remember if you were already on Discord. Yes, Susan, it was an absolutely great price, but I hemmed and hawed because I bought stuff already. Good
It had
morning.
a bunch
Joe.
of us.
Yeah, I had already purchased a few things earlier that week, and I purchased a Lori Holt kit as well. That was on sale at Back Border Shop. So I hemmed and hawed because it was like, oh no, And finally,
Good morning, Joe.
so finally I had to do it. I just had to do it. But I did buy some fabric, and I'll probably show you guys what I purchased on the 11 o'clock, unless you twist my arm and you want to see all my purchases. But let me tell you. Okay, so we talked about this. I use this Soline air erasing pen to mark a lot of my fabric when I'm cutting or when I am doing free motion quilting, playing around or whatever. And you remember I did this.
Melanie says, Lisa, can I have your scraps when you're done with the quilts?
Oh, quilting. Oh, so Lori, no, I purchased the Americana. So I purchased her Americana kit. And that was a good deal. I'm not doing it until next year. So Lori's gonna sit around for a year or something.
That's about like my Beverly Hills. It's still sitting over there.
Lori is going to sit for, but it was a good deal. It comes with the templates on it, the rulers for it, and it's going to sit there. And I might actually change it out to a different fabric line if I find something and keep Lori Holt fabric for other things, because me and Lori, we got this thing anyway. So last Sunday, while we were on Quilting with the Bees, I was on George playing. I was just playing on George because I didn't feel like doing anything else. I was just going to get right. Yeah. She may, but there's a special spot underneath my hutch thing here just for Lori, and it's a pretty box. It's a pretty box. But anyway, so I'm telling you, I have this and I had some stuff. I made this and I had some pictures and I was gonna go ahead and motion quilt it, but then it air erased, right? Because it's air erasable. Well, I bought these other pens because I needed different colors, and this only comes in one color. I needed different colors, and I do not like using chalk. I have chalk pens, but I don't like using chalk. And I wanted to test it, so I pulled this out and I marked on it, and it was iron off, so it doesn't go away until you apply heat to it. And test it, worked fine. But all of a sudden, I got lines on my fabric. I was getting lines, and I'm thinking, my iron is dirty. My iron is dirty. I got to clean my iron. Picked up my iron. Nothing's wrong with it. It's a little dusty. But the markers came back with heat. The sew line marker came back with heat, and I could see everything I drew. And it has been, well, I mentioned it on Thursday. So I think it was Wednesday when I received my order. And do you know that the mark is still on my fabric? That there are places where it will not air erase anymore. It doesn't disappear. And I was thinking, what happened if it was a quilt that I was giving away and they stuck it? Or yes, it's the air dry one. It is the air erasing sew line. But
Susan says she's heard that using baby wipes takes away the marks.
well, okay, so if you're going to give a quilt away and maybe they want to iron it out, maybe, somebody likes ironing. Right, Jim. So what happens and you used white for a background fabric and the person ironed it out because they want it all pristine lying on their bed or something, and all of a sudden all these marks appear and they do not go away, or you forever have these marks, but they have not disappeared and it has been several days. And so that kind of frustrates me. However, I can say that the ink pens that I purchased, um, they have not come back. And I think I might stick it in the freezer to see if it comes back with really cold air.
Did you try water on it? They want to know.
I spritzed it with water. So these air erase markers it's not like the purple pen that you use for, and I don't like the purple pen because it's only purple. So it only shows up on light fabric. It doesn't show up on dark fabric.
Zaza says a lot of air erase, you shouldn't iron it. It can make it permanent.
Yeah. So I re-iron a lot of things after
Good
after
morning, Donna.
good morning. After I quilt something, especially if I free motion quilt something and I'm doing a piece, just a piece, I want to iron it. I want to loosen the seams, let those seams relax. So Melissa has never had a problem with friction pens.
I haven't either.
Well, Susan, but if you put it in, so my thing is, even if you wash it and you put it in the dryer, will it come back? Because I didn't realize I was heat setting the pens.
Oh, Zaza always uses the friction.
Yeah, so I didn't,
Susan uses the friction. I use them.
well, I had a problem with the friction pens because I had that same issue where I used the friction pen and it came back and I could see it on a piece that I had hanging on the wall. I've never tried that. I use friction pens. So I had a problem with the friction pens, so I stopped using the friction pens. However, I use the friction pens for work. I like to write with them, but I had a problem with the friction pens. So now I'm thinking that if the pens that I purchased,
I have some of the water ones too.
well, I have water soluble pens. Donna likes to use chalk. I have water soluble pens. Y'all don't know how many pens I have to mark things and everything else. And the back of the quilt, I do not mind. It's going to be in the inside of the quilt, but on the front of the quilt, I don't want it to come back. I don't want to see it. I'm especially if you're marking for free motion quilting. So that was kind of disappointing to me. And
Donna likes to use chalk.
what I purchased, I did get the rub-a-dub pens we talked about too. That are made by Sharpie. They were made by Sharpie. I was like, I didn't order no Sharpie pens because I didn't pay attention. The chalk doesn't always come out either. No, so I have these little chalk pens that I use,
Yeah.
and the little chalk the little chalk pens, the little chalk pens seem to work okay. And I might have to. So I bought these, and these are not friction pens. They look like friction pens, but these are not friction pens. But they act like friction pens, and they're pretty good. And they come in multiple colors, so you can use it for every fabric. And so far, so good. I need to put it, hi, Andrea. I need to put it in the freezer, my thing in the freezer to see if that mark comes up with cold air. If it's thing, but it really hurt my feelings that
Good
these
morning, Andrea. I see you.
it really hurt my feelings that it came back up, that the mark showed.
Good morning, Melissa. Melissa Makes is here.
Good morning, Melissa. So anyway, that was my distressful thing, and I'm glad it just happened on this. So I do have
We were playing.
I do have the, I guess it's softy, however you pronounce it, chalk, and I might have to use the chalk pens. Um, Andrew said you made her spit her coffee.
Oh, Susan says she doesn't use the friction pins on dark fabrics because it can leave a mark.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so sometimes it's really disappointing when you catch something quite by accident, and I don't think I would have known that had I not tested it. So all it tells me is I cannot use it on very light fabric. I don't think it would show up on dark fabric, but the whole purpose is I can't see it on dark fabric anyway to trace the line. So yeah, chalk might have to be the way to go. Jim said he'll stick with his hair for now for quilting. Yeah, it's just it was a little disappointing. Like I said, if it was on the inside of the quilt, you would not have been able to see it. But this happened to be on the front of the quilt of my practice piece. So I don't know. But I could see where I didn't follow the lines. So that's like, ooh, I didn't stay in the line on that one. Yes, Susan, it would have been really disappointing to me. It would have been highly disappointing had I used it as a gift on used it on as a gift on something, and that person found it and thought, "Oh, what did I do?" That was very disappointing. But yeah, I made some big purchases this week. I made some really good purchases. I purchased everything on sale. I use water soluble chalk pencils to mark my quilts. Well, I have these chalk things. I don't like chalk pencils, and I have Taylor chalk, but Taylor chalk doesn't, especially the blue. The blue doesn't always come out. Right, Jim. So I have Taylor's chalk, and I will use Taylor's chalk if I'm cutting something on the back side of the fabric. Like I said, I don't mind it if it's on the back side. I don't want it on the front side of my fabric. And I know that a lot of people use the purple pen. I just don't know how they see it on the front side because I have sight issues. I can't see it. Oh, okay. I'm done complaining. That was my complaint. That was my complaint.
Hey, using this thing is great because you see that come up and you know I'm going to say something.
Melissa, it's not that it didn't come off, it reappeared when I applied heat to it, and it is the air erasing sewn line pen, which I use for a lot of things. A lot of things, and but I did get the Rub-a-Dub pens from Sharpie, and I'm quite happy with Sharpie, so I will use it to make my labels in the back. Haven't tried it yet, but I did purchase that. Oh, and I did get a 28 millimeter cutter.
Rotary cutter.
Rotary cutter. Yeah. Yeah, I did purchase one.
I have a bunch of them.
I don't
I
know
have
why.
one right here. I have one up there. I don't know how many over there in my drawer.
Good morning, Giovanna. No, Susan, I purchased several, so I think I'm just going to have to eat it and just chalk it up to a learning experience. I'll use it on the back of quilts. I need to find something for the front of the quilts that I can
Hi,
have.
banana Joe. Did you see that Margaret says she used Bohin pencil?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to say it.
Yeah. Joe said the small cutters are. I don't know why I never had one, and so I purchased one and got the extra blades for it.
Zaza wants to know if you've tried washing the piece to see if it disappears.
No, because I haven't finished it. So when I'm done practicing on it, I will wash it and then re-iron it. Because you know how sometimes you have, if you like free motion quilting, or even if you're just doing regular quilting on your machine, because you have a table runner or a piece that you have hanging on the wall, occasionally it needs to be washed, especially if it's a table runner and you got some dirty people, some messy people. Occasionally things need to be washed, but you do something a little bit more intricate.
Good morning, Candace.
You do something a little bit more intricate, and I don't want. Sometimes I mark, sometimes I don't. It depends. Just a little frustrating. But moving on. That's my quilty life lesson today. But I made certain that I
I
mentioned it.
bought these for using for labels.
I have them too. Well, I have them too.
They're colored gel pens. So, and I don't have labels made for any of my stuff. So all the ones that I have, well, tea cakes is completely done, but there's no label on it. I really need to put a label.
Morning, Mona.
Good morning, Mona. I love my bee.
Good morning, Ginger. How are you?
Oh. Good morning, Ginger. I just have so much fun with that.
Yeah, so I'm going to make labels with the little rub-a-dub. I just decided that I'm just going to not get the embroidery machine at this time. At this juncture in my life, I'm not getting the embroidery machine. When making labels, I put interfacing in the back of the fabric before I write on it. Yes, I do too. Kind of stabilizes. Somebody else's, they use somebody else uses Tarot Magic to make their labels.
Good morning, Auntie Ellen.
You need me to go over there? Oh, you're going outside?
Good morning, honey.
He's turning red. He always turns red whenever.
He's my buddy.
Good morning, sunshine.
He's my buddy.
He was turning red. Oh, good morning, Auntie Ellen. Good morning, honey. Yes. So I've been doing some secret sewing. Can't tell you all about it. But my top is finished for all of you that know what I'm talking about. It is finished. Deb is going to get a sneak peek because she is not participating in the mystery quilt.
I'm not doing it.
But yeah,
I got too many other things going on.
She's not participating, so she gets to see my top after
I
that.
have no imagination to do something out of the box.
Listen. When you see mine, you're going to go, man, I could have done that. There was no thought or effort into it.
Susan says it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day.
Yes.
It might finally be a great day here. It's only supposed to get mid-80s.
Joe made a boho bag. Joe, did you put a video out for that? Because I did not see one. Well, Melanie, thank you. Thank you for telling me that you had an ad. I appreciate you sharing.
Giovanna says sandpaper helps to write on the fabric.
Giovanna's getting storms today, too.
Is the quilt with all the shapes?
Yes, Sheila.
Yeah, yes. Sheila.
Yes. And let me tell you, I got every single shape into my top. So, and now I have to quilt it. I just completed the backing, piece the backing together. And I'm going to quilt it. But then I have to wait a month and a half before I can even share it with y'all. But I could give you a sneak peek. Susan.
Judy's going to bring the heat up my way Monday. She must be heading to Illinois again.
For our anniversary tomorrow, hubby is taking me to a huge 80-acre flea market tomorrow morning. Susan, I need to get down to Florida. I need to go to one of those big flea markets. I don't want to go to Atlanta to go to no big flea market or outside of Atlanta.
Yeah, I need to go down there just to go to that stuff. And I need to go to Ohio to all them sales that Mona goes to.
Is Sherry here? Good morning, Sherry. I didn't see your name pop up. But
yeah, she's there. She says sneaking in while sister is still sleeping. She misses us.
Yeah, she loves us. She loves us. And so I went to my Quilted Twin. I did some Quilted Twin purchases just to buy some not dark black fabric, not solid black fabric, but some tonal prints that I needed for a project that I'm working on. Oh, I gotta show you because
Joe says no video. She was just dabbling with that bag.
So I gotta show you this because Zaza is on, and y'all, I'm not gonna tell you what quilt I have planned in my head. That's a Discord discussion that we've discussed on Discord. But I can tell you it involves bugs. And Zaza sent me some bug fabric. So I got a little
Good morning, Sherry. And good morning, Joydy.
I got this little thing that I'm gonna place put on my wall that says harmless hobby. I had no idea. But I wanted to show you. So I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger because I appreciate it. So I got my little sticker or thing. And this is the bug print that she sent me, it says bugs. That's what it says, bugs. But can you see? Remember those? Well, she was on. We did a quasi retreat on Discord, and she was making those pins. So let me see if I can show it to you without. She's making those pins.
Oh, yeah.
So she sent me some of those pins that she was making. Very nice. Very nice. So I got that in the mail and I was really, really excited. And
Sheila says she picked up another bug fabric for you the other day. We'll mail it when I get home.
oh, no worries. It's gonna be. I won't start it till the fall because I'm not doing any quilts. But I did get the panel.
Melanie is asking who made the pins.
Zaza, remember was Melanie on that quilt retreat? That quasi quilt retreat?
I thought so.
That's the pins. But this is the panel, the nativity panel that I won from Quilts by Carmel. And so I got that in there with a lovely little. I had such a good day yesterday. I kept getting boxes and packages. It was so exciting.
I was going to say, isn't it fun?
Yes, it was so exciting. And my husband, every time something came in, he just looked at me. Oh, you know what, Sherry, it is tough for all of us. You know, I had to give up the Saturdays. I couldn't do the Saturday Discord. I just can't maintain.
Well, and that's fine because I was missing out on my football when we were doing the Not Quite Right. And Sheila understands that because I was having to record them so I could watch them after we were done. And that's no fun because if you look at your phone, other people are going to be telling you what the score was.
So my husband likes Legos, Nikki, and I make certain that I purchase things with Lego things. So he has a package every now and then. And because I don't want to be selfish and
Good morning, Linda. Irish Sail ladies here.
and because I don't want to be selfish and I want to share the love of some of things that I get, I purchased a hand hex tool because George does not take a standard Phillips head. It's not, the screws are not Phillips head. So I had to get some hex tools, and I bought a whole set, and I only needed one size. So I gave him the rest of the set. I said he could have the rest of the set. I'll just keep the one I need.
Susan said the fat quarters that she got from Quilted Twins is really good quality fabrics.
The $1 ones?
Yeah.
So, Susan, I bought more Quilted Twin. Where's your thing? Deb?
It's right here. It's right here.
Yeah. So I bought more because $1. I mean, $1.
Uh-huh.
And
I buy more even when it's the same pattern.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I use them on everything.
Well, you think you get $4? You get 4 of them of the same pattern, and you got a yard. You know, you got a yard, but I bought more. So when I say that I went shopping and I made purchases, I went shopping and I made purchases. And
Sherry says that she likes Quilted Twins. She'll order again from them.
Yeah, they're really good. They're really fast.
They're very fast on their shipping.
Zaza, I am so sorry. Now, some of their things are expensive, so don't let me get you wrong. Sometimes you get a little sticker shock when you go in there and you look at things.
Like some of it, yeah.
Like some of their Riley Blake bundles are on the pricey side.
Uh-huh.
If you want the newest, if you want the newest, it's pricey because it's pricey all over. But there are other fabrics, if you don't mind shopping for Benartex or some of the other brands. I like.
Giovanna says, when I get tools, they are mine. I don't share. I am jealous of my things. I will buy you a set, but don't touch mine.
Oh, I know where it's all at, and I often ask him to fix things for me. I may know how to do it, but I sit there helplessly, like, oh, I'm not sure I can do that by myself.
Yeah, Susan likes my Fabric Addiction one too. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're great too.
I have never purchased from them, and I really have to. There's a couple places that I have not purchased from, but I am a creature of habit sometimes, and I go to the places I know first. I
Uh-huh.
like, my default is Backwater Shop, kind of like your default is Missouri Star. Um, so
I have cut way down on Missouri Star though.
I have a default for things that I purchase, but I go to Fat Quarter Shop a lot, and I've just recently discovered Quilts of Twins, and I love them. I love them. Susan also supports Jordan Fabrics.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's a couple places that I have, but when I purchase things, it's kind of specific. You know what I'm saying? And or I go there and I don't know. Yeah, Lori, that's so Terry's place, Marshall Dry Goods.
Melissa likes the Green Fairy quilts, but they take a long time to ship.
Yeah, I like faster turnaround because most of the times, especially if it's things that I need and I'm waiting for, I don't want to have to wait 3 weeks for I want it now.
Marshall Dry Goods is good.
Yeah, Hobby Lobby is closed on Sunday. Michael's, I think, is open, but Hobby Lobby, I know for sure, is closed on Sundays. Who's asking 8 Ball a question? Donna said, "What's up?" And 8 Ball said, "Not even in your dreams." Seriously, dude. Oh, connecting threads. So Jess has Connecting Threads, an affiliate, and there is somebody else who has a Connecting Threads affiliate.
Susan says she bought the vintage Christmas book. Are you talking about the Lori Holt one? I have that book.
There's a couple books that I want to get from Lori. So Alicia, that's right, Sheila. It's Alicia that has a Connecting Threads affiliate link, and I think you get 15% off your order if you use their links. Nebraska Quilt Company.
Lori says thousands of bolts and one nut is fast shipping.
So I used to buy Connecting Threads, and I never bought their fabric. I used to buy their thread, and my Janome did not like it. Just my specific. I'm not saying all Janomes do not like Connecting Threads. It was fine on my Singer. It did not like my Janome, and it broke a lot. And when I tried to free motion quilt, so I do not buy Connecting Threads very much anymore. I still have a lot of thread. Your Featherweight loves their thread. See, it could just be my Janome. So I never say that anybody's thread is not good overall. My Janome just does not like it. And so I stopped buying it, but I used to buy them all the time when I used to sew my Singer before I got. And I have connecting threads on my featherweight. So yeah, I have, because it works well with the featherweight.
Donna asked 8 Ball, "Where are you?" It said, "Sure, no words."
Hi, Joy T. Good morning.
Oh, Zaza says her Janome doesn't like Aurifil.
It's amazing, and I don't know if it is because my Janome does well with Aurifil, and I can free motion quote on my Janome with Aurifil.
Yes, Linda, I use Missouri Star thread too.
Well, Susan, if I'm not mistaken, your husband finds you wonderful deals on featherweights, and they're not even in the 1,000. Oh, and to Helen likes petites from Connecting Threads. Now I've never, in on honesty, I've never bought fabric from Connecting Threads.
I haven't either.
I've never bought fabric from them. I only bought their thread, and I used it for a long time. But when my Janome did not like it, I just stopped buying it. So I may need to give them a look-see, go back and.
Donna says, 8 Ball, what are you talking about? It says, I think you need a nap. Seriously, dude.
Both of my Janome machines, and they're fine with everything else. It's just maybe we get different quality thread. Maybe we don't get the same thing in the States as we get in Scotland. Fern said that she only buys thread from them. Sheila, I'm going to have to try them out because in all honesty, have, like I said, I'm a creature of habit. So
yep, me too.
I tend to go to the same place all the time. And if you take a long time, I will not purchase from you anymore.
Missouri Star just had a sale on 8-yard bolts.
Uh-huh.
I bought a bolt. I don't have it yet. It'll be here this coming week sometime. Gray with a little bit of a print on it.
Judy said her Juki is not a thread snob. She will use anything. That's good because, well, George did not like.
Oh, Susan, that's funny.
George did not like the affinity variegated thread. He kept breaking, or the thread kept shredding. And I think it's because there's a variegated thread, when you cut it, it splits. And so something happens, but George did not like the variegated thread. However, I put it on my Janome, and my Janome was fine with it. So I don't know. I did too. Flamingos. So that was that. Have you ever tried waxing the threads? No, because I don't want no. I used to wax thread when I used to finger hand sew. I used to make it go through the material a lot easier, but I've never waxed thread for. I mean, I don't even know how I would do that. How would you do that for a spool of thread? How would you wax the thread? Oh, so on this is non-quilting related, and it was a topic that came up a while ago. I was looking for something different to watch, and I was tired of watching whatever my husband has been watching forever and ever. So I turned on the Minecraft movie, and I said, "Well, do you mind if I watch the Minecraft movie?" And he just kind of rolled his eyes, right? I'm like, "I just wanted to see it. We didn't go with the kids or anything else, and I just wanted to see the movie." And came with the subscription. So I turned it on, and my husband's like, I'll just read. I'll just read. 5 minutes into the movie, he put his book down and he watched the movie. And he was like, "What is that? What is that? What is that?" And I'm like, "That's Steve." And then we had the chicken song stuck in our brain the whole time. Steve's Steve's lava chicken. Oh, but it was really cute, Nikki. It was really cute. There was a few parts that were a little questionable. Was a little bit questionable because it's not part of Minecraft, and I'm just talking about some language. But other than that, it was a really, really cute movie. And my husband said it was cute. It was fun. Um, it was stupid. And if you play Minecraft, which I do, if you play Minecraft, you'll understand everything that was going on. I had to explain a few things because my husband's like, "Why are they all square?" I said, "Because it's Minecraft." But yeah, it even had the pink sheep in it, if you know, in that world, the pink sheep. But it was cute. So we're talking about the sewing machine and a wax. So I have beeswax, and I think to I don't know what they call it because I do not hand stitch. I just don't hand stitch. But I did have beeswax to condition the thread for hand stitching. But Nikki says I don't play it, but my grandson does. Nikki, did he watch the movie? My daughter told me that the kids watch the movie all the time. Susan, isn't that the one that Teresa Louise is doing? I actually have the it's sitting here and I have not attempted it. I keep watching Teresa Louise and I said, "Oh, the patience." But I have the Laura Heine kit here with the chicken, the rooster, and the beef. And it's sitting here just waiting for me to work on it. I have not done it yet. All right, Deb, I got to step out for just a sec.
Okay. So I did I talked to Mona about this. Remember when I said that when I put my stabilizer on and I showed you that it was a ½ inch too big up here and the ½ inch down here? I cut it wrong. So I just went in and I cut the top and bottom to the right size this time. And I did cut down the lining on it. God, I couldn't think of the words. I did cut down on the lining on it too. See, I took some off. It's a whole inch that I took off. And this is the 1/2 inch that I took off of the other. But now I have some strings to play with too. So I want to work on this flower farm. I want to work on the Geo Chick. And I want to work on my 2 little totes. I got these from By Annie. And I want to work on those. There's 2 different sizes on here. Multiple pockets inside and out. Great for shopping, travel, crafts, and more. Zipper lace flat when open. And it's got a small and a medium size. So I want to work on that. I have, can you tell I went through all my patterns? I have this one that I won from Jamie at the Quilting Compound. I'm going to work on that. I still have Tea Party that I want to work on. And I have Afternoon Tea for that from Beverly McCullough. So yeah, I have a bunch that I want to work on. But I have been cleaning my my area here, and I brought my cutting mat back in here for this side of my table. So I'm working on it a little bit at a time. I should be getting my little cover for the feed dogs for the brother right there. And then we'll try that machine out. If that machine doesn't work, I got the other brother that I can try. See, I'm trying to use my old machines instead of my baby lock. I want my baby lock for piecing. I love it.
Fern, I have no plans for any big quilts for the month of July and August. I will restart my quilt making. I do want to make a Christmas quilt though. I have a couple of Christmas quilts, but they are more, they're not cozy, comfortable quilts. They're more to show off my non-existent quilting skills.
Andrea has that Tea Party pattern too.
Oh,
I did a Christmas quilt already. I just have to quilt it. It was the one that Fallon designed, that Christmas tree star quilt.
mm-hmm.
Christmas star tree, something like that. And I have that to quilt. And then I have a Christmas quilt. Plus I did the smaller version of Santa on the sleigh through the night flying. Remember, I did that on one of the Not Quite Rights. That still needs quilted.
Thanks, Teresa. Joyce, I didn't get a chance to say hi to you when you came in.
Hi, Joyce. Oh, Joyce, where are you?
So I don't know. I haven't decided what Christmas quilt I would like to make. And I'm thinking of doing something with the Christmas tree, as well. And there's a lot of Christmas patterns out there. But maybe I'm really not sure because I want to replace that quilt with as my Christmas tree. That way I can just hang it, roll it out, and hang it up on the wall every year and not have to deal with the Christmas tree. The kids are older, they don't care. As long as they, they don't
Hey,
care.
yo, Patty.
Hi, Yo Patty. Hi, Cheryl.
Oh, look at there. Yo, Patty is advertising for Quilted Twins. She says, Andrea, Quilted Twins has white on white stars starting at $6.99 a yard.
They do. They have some good prices. They have some good prices, and they have some good bundles too. They're
Yeah, they do a lot of half yard bundles.
I think I have.
Good morning, Cheryl with an S.
I think I have a Vegas strip that is Christmas fabric, and so I just haven't decided. I probably will do something from Lori. I don't know because I'm so strange that I might just come up with my own pattern and say, "Ooh, I like this." I had shown Deb one time that she probably forgets about a Christmas tree that I wanted to do. But I'm really, and I want to put fairy lights on mine. So that way there's a little bit of sparkle to it. So I'm just not sure.
I have a Christmas tree one. Well, actually, I have two. I have one from Missouri Star, which was a block of the month. I never did it. They're all still in little zipper pouches.
Mm-hmm.
And then from Fat Quarter Shop, she has a free one that's smaller.
Mm-hmm.
And I have that all cut out and ready to go, but I never finished it. I took a picture of it with black and white after I laid it all out, and that's all the further I got.
Margaret, I'm writing that down. So easy, Fred. I just purchased some Superior thread. I purchased some variegated thread from Superior, and I have not tried it. But that is and Jessica's not here, but that is for the peacock that I'm going to do. I am going to do the peacock.
Good morning, Sherry.
Good morning, Sherry. So I plan on doing
Sherry Wiggins is here.
And that is going to be a summer project because it's small.
I have oh my goodness, a gnome table runner that I got from my Fabric Addiction one. I still need to quilt it over here on this shoulder. And I have, what reminded me is because I have the binding right here all got ready to go. I have binding over here. I have binding for Millie's dresses. I have binding for Old Glory. So I have my stuff all ready for a bunch of stuff.
You know what Jessica did on one of her videos, and you know how y'all do them binding, and it's like 2 1/4 or 2.5 inch strips for the binding. Jessica does the 3 inch, and I started doing the 3 inch, and that is so freeing. That is like you don't have to tug or stretch. It just kind of just all works nicely. Of course, I do not hand sew, which means I do not hand bind. I do everything by machine.
Oh, Yo Patty's been ordering from Quilted Twins since 2013.
Wow.
She likes the same colorway bundles. Yeah, they do a lot of the colorways.
I love it. I love it. In fact, so much so that y'all, I was watching SY for a little while last night. And I told my husband, I said, I'm not buying anything because, of course, all these packages came in. And I did warn him that there is another package coming in. in the middle or towards the end of next week. And he just kind of looked at me. But I looked at them and I'm like, well, there's nothing fascinating. Your prices aren't overwhelming me now because I have found some other spots that produce the same type of service, you know, same type of fabric, and I get it a lot faster. And I don't have to watch for 4 hours. I can just go on their websites and see what it is.
Linda says, I got the Christmas tree panel from Missouri Star years ago. I finished it up and hang it for the holidays in my office. It has the lights that are poked through the tree limbs. Oh,
So that is kind of what I'm thinking about doing, and I would like to make an outdoor Christmas tree with the one of the Christmas trees being the focus Christmas tree and little animals around it with lights and snow. But what I see in my mind, what I can envision in my mind doesn't always translate to what I can produce
yeah.
on fabric. But that's something I would like to do, and I don't want to do a print. I want to make it myself, and that would be my Christmas tree every year. Just hang it up and time to decorate for Christmas. Good. We'll just run and roll it.
Susan says, Cozy Quilt Designs has a beautiful Christmas tree pattern called O Tannenbaum.
Who's that, Cozy?
Cozy Quilt Designs.
What are we talking about? Cotton coats, Giovanna? Is that what you're talking about? A Christmas tree. But there's a couple of other projects that I would like to do.
Joy says she made a Christmas tree from Curve's book.
Giovanna, if we're talking about cotton cuts, I decided that was just not for me. I did not like waiting a month for the project to come in. I just did not like the format. And the octopus quilt that I made, the one time I did it and it looks like an octopus to me, I just said it was not for me. However, that being said, I'm not knocking cotton cuts because a lot of people like it. They enjoy it. It does not work for me. Good morning, Elaine.
Susan's asking you, wouldn't it fray, Lisa, if you added fairy lights to it?
I think so. I am thinking that if you make little buttonholes for tiny buttonholes, I'm thinking that if you make little tiny buttonholes, that you should be able to push the fairy lights from the back. So, not all the light strings are showing, just the lights. Because I would pretty much quilt it to death to get it to lay flat. I'm thinking.
Good morning, Elaine.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what it's in my head. Susan said Lisa Jordan Fabrics did a tutorial on the pattern. What about using fray check, Lisa? That would be good. See, I haven't. It's just a thought in my head. Also, I could probably, those snaps that you put on. I could probably put some colorful snaps on it and just poke the hose out of it. Poke some hose out of it. And stick
Linda, are you talking about the big quilt with the Christmas tree in the middle that I had the fabric with the Christmas lights on it?
If you use a sander iron to make the hose, it will burn it and it won't fray. I think there's multiple ways that you could do it. Right, an all or stiletto would work. There's many ways, but I'm also thinking that I could use, like I said, I could make little tiny buttonholes on the quilt itself once it's done. Because we're not talking a massive quilt. We're talking a quilt that's going to hang on your wall and hopefully not be wider than my treadle because it would go above my treadle because my treadle is in the living room.
Linda, that was the Christmas tree star quilt that Fallon made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could, Susan. So there's a lot of things you could do with it. And I think it would be a neat project for the grandkids to come and help me with if I have the basic quilt done. But I don't want it to look like I don't want it to look like four patches or anything else. And I have my scan and cut. So yeah, so that's not quite what I'm going for.
Now, this is for Linda. She wanted to know what that was. That's the one that Fallon designed. I had fun making that one too.
Wait. What are we talking about here, Melanie? Or what did Cheryl say? Sorry, got to go back up. I'm seeing interesting conversation here. Cheryl. No, gonna have to tell me what y'all were talking about, Melanie. What were you? What were you
Yeah,
talking?
Linda, she's So Be It Quilts, and she did a video on it, and the pattern is in the description of her videos.
And Deb Clutter, if you want just a beautiful big Christmas block, very, very easy Christmas block, Deb Clutter has some pretty 18 and 24-inch blocks in her on her website that is for free, very downloadable. Sherry Wiggins, my fabrics control me instead of me being in control. I like to just, I don't know. I'm just not a big pattern person. I like to just drop things and whatever happens, happens. Some of it comes out good, some of it is like, but I just like to do whatever happens, happens. Whenever I do a pattern and it's a real intricate pattern, sometimes it frustrates me because it doesn't look like it's supposed to come out. When something's supposed to finish at 10 and a half and yours finishes at 9 and a quarter, and you're like, what? I followed the directions, the instructions,
Mm-hmm.
and this is like way short, and everything looks a little wonky. So, yeah,
I like what Sherry Wiggins said. She says, my fabrics control me instead of me being in control.
Good morning, Alicia. How are you?
Alicia! Oh my goodness! Alicia with the E in the middle.
Are you using, oh, I'm trying to starch Lori. You're trying to starch that Lori uses. I'm excited. I see, Jim, you don't know how close I came to buying those that little puzzle or toy set that was. I was really, really close. I'm like, hmm.
I like Zaza. Melanie, I share. I'm just slow. That's the way I am. I'm slow.
Yeah, I think I enjoyed the quilts that I make without a pattern more than I make with a pattern, with the exception of my Lori Holt quilt kit that had Sunbonnet Sue and Overall Bill, because I love that quilt, and the butterfly quilt. I love that butterfly quilt that we made. I really love the butterfly quilt. In fact, it's on the kid's bed, and every time I walk by it, I'm like, that was such a pretty easy quilt to make. Yes, Joe.
Joydy says, I'm not hesitant or scared to show my quilts. I don't have a design board at the moment. Well, let me tell you, my design board, I got one over here that I can't use because I put the white table in front of it, so I can't reach it. And then I put the flannel backed tablecloth over here, and I have to use safety pins to put a quilt on it. But when I take pictures, I have my husband hold them, and we go out in this hallway here, and that's where we take the pictures.
Oh, Alicia, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yes, it's going to be a difficult transition for you all there, especially she meant that much to you. I'm so sorry.
Yes, it's very hard to find a boss that you really, really like that.
Mm-hmm. Lori likes hers Lisa Bongine stiff. I mean, like it stands on its own. You know, you can't bend it. She likes it. She likes that fabric stiff. Oh,
Sorry, I was beeping.
no, because I see a lot of people that they just like their blocks on their floor.
Yeah.
In their living room, wherever they have the space for it.
Yeah. I think that's what Melanie does. She puts hers on the floor.
Yeah. A lot of people just do it on the floor and take pictures. The only thing is the angle always looks a little off when you take a picture from the floor if you don't catch it the right way. But yes, Alicia, I know that you like yours like you drench it and it's stiff and crispy and you don't ever have to use a pin because it's not going to move anywhere when you get it up. It's not going to do anything other than go where that sewing machine wants it to go, where that needle takes it.
Lori and Nikki both use the floor too.
Yeah, I don't use the floor, Joy T, because of my Max. Max likes to shed, and so I don't want to send a quilt with a whole bunch of dog fur with it because they might not appreciate that.
I don't use the floor because I can't get to the floor. If I get to the floor, I got to do the butt walk to the stairway over there so I can stand back up again.
The Sherry Yurton had a video out. What has it been, about 2 months, where she was showing how she rows out her batting and cuts her batting for her quilt. Now let me tell y'all that she was on the floor just kind of walking around on her knees and stuff. I'm like, they would have to call 911 on me.
Yeah, there ain't no way.
My knees are not good. I'm like, the fact that she could get in there, get down there, crawl around and cut fabric was like, and she didn't make all the noises that I make.
Judy and Fern used their beds.
I use my bed for real big quilts. Most of the time, once it gets to a certain point, like if it's because my design wall is very small, so once it gets to a certain point, I will take a picture of it, and that's how I put my quilts back together. That's how I piece my quilts, my blocks.
Look at Melanie. I will share my latest flimsy after the show. Anyone else want to blow up the chat with me?
Alicia says she has a couple of things I could share. I wish I could show you what I made for the mystery quilt challenge. I'm so excited about it. And you guys are going to be like, WTH?
Yeah,
I,
pugs shed a lot too. Believe me, I was holding Honey the other day because she was missing her dad, so she needed comfort. So I was holding her. When I put her down, oh, the whole front of me was covered.
well, if you have a German Shepherd like I do, then you have tumble fur. It just falls and blows all over the house. Some days it's like I have a trap of fur, so I try not to put anything on my floor. But oh, my dog. Oh, oh, and we just realized my dog is 6 years old. We thought he was younger.
Oh,
That's how fast time goes by.
yeah.
But his birthday, he was born in October, and so we were trying to figure out how old he was going to be. Hmm. That's right. You guys are going to see it, and you're like, I put that much effort and thought into mine. If you sew it and piece it, it just kind of fits together. Make it work. Oh, my dogs. So I have an outside dog too that I've mentioned before that he does not like being in the house. He almost died. We rescued him, and so he does not like being in the house. And this dog is 13 years old now. He's 13, but he doesn't like coming in the house. He likes to sleep underneath the shed. He has always been an outside dog, and he sheds. He's a mix, a lab and something, and he sheds as well, but he sheds outside. The birds follow him because he's got this really coarse black fur long. And in the springtime, the birds will come down, and where he's laying, once he moves, they'll pick up the clumps of fur that he's left behind. Oh, oh, I'm so sorry, Joycey. It's just so hard when they get older, but we wanted to. Oh, and I think the conversation came up because there was a German Shepherd that's 4 years old that is up in LaGrange, Georgia, I think, that was available for adoption. And they had it on a website that I was looking at. And they were saying that he's good with other dogs, good with kids, good with people, and he looked like my Max. And so I was thinking, well, Max needs a brother. So we were thinking about how old Max was and realized he was 6, not 4, like we thought he was.
So you're saying you lost 2 years?
It's just gone by. It's just gone by. It's a blur.
I
We're
know.
gonna,
Sassy will be 15 in August, and Honey will be 2.
I'm going to say they were the pandemic years, okay? Those years are just kind of, it's just a blur. So many things went on in the world. But yeah, he's older than we thought. And
Yeah,
it made us very sad.
yeah. My
Uh,
very first pug, he was older than we thought he was. I rescued him. I should say my kids rescued him and brought him home. And who got stuck? Mom did. But that's okay because it turns out he liked Mom better than any of them.
well, my dog is my dog. I mean, he is my dog. Except when my grandson is around, then he doesn't know who I am. But yeah, but it really gets sad when you think of how old they are. I mean, it just makes you sad.
Uh-huh.
But I almost drove to LaGrange, Judy. I almost drove to LaGrange to go pick up this 4-year-old dog because I was thinking, I would keep all the dogs if I could. If I had a big backyard and a bigger home, I would keep a lot of dogs. I would rescue a lot of dogs. But
Yeah.
I am very partial to Shih Tzus, and 2 German Shepherds. Always loved Shih Tzus and German Shepherds. So I would rescue them, and I almost went there because he looked so much like Max. Except that he had a beauty mark on the opposite side of his face than Max does. And I almost went to get him, and my husband said, "Do you know how jealous Max would be if we brought another, just an adult dog into the home?" I'm like, "But he goes out with his brother in the yard, and they play, and he stays out with his brother in the yard all the time." Judy's not going to get any more dogs. I'm going to go smaller so I can. You know what? I'm going to go smaller because that means that I have not been anywhere, have not taken a vacation anywhere for 6 years. That's why I always say that I need a break. I need a mental health break. I've not been anywhere in 6 years. This husky has traumatized me. Bye, Zaza.
Hi, Gaza.
We gotta
Oh,
go.
look at that. My hand looked like the one that's on the chat when you hit it.
I didn't realize it was after 8:30. Y'all. We gotta come back at 11 o'clock. Oh, and it's on my channel. So if you're looking for something to do or just somebody to hang out with while you're in your sewing room, it's on my channel this week.
Sherry says, "This is my therapy group."
And we are glad to be in this group with you. Yeah, we have not been anywhere because I will not leave my dog alone. And and I can't plan that way in advance with my daughter. Like she was supposed to come yesterday. They were all supposed to visit yesterday, and they all are sick. They got sick on Thursday. I think it was Thursday. Hi, Barry. I didn't even see you in there. Hey, Barry.
Hi, Barry.
So he got.
I gotta say hi and bye to Barry.
All the kids woke up sick. I mean, they had colds and sniff. They had the sniffles and congestion and headaches and belly aches, and I'm like, I don't want any of that. Their Papa don't want any of that either. So they didn't come over. So I can't plan a vacation because I do not know when my daughter would be able to dog sit for me.
Yeah.
And we can't take him to her house because she has pets. And they would not like him there.
Judy says you can just keep talking to us.
Well, I could, but then I might not have a voice, which might not be a bad thing. At 11 o'clock because I'm hosting. If Deb or Mona was hosting, I would keep talking and just not talk during their live. I just sew on George.
Joy says she just got an email from Joanne's/Michaels for a 60 off coupon for Michaels.
Yes, Joy, I agree. Barry has got the bug bad. I mean, really, really bad. He is the next thing he's going to be purchasing he's going to buy a he shed, not a she shed.
That's good.
He's going to buy a he shed or a he cottage out for the backyard because he wants everything in the same room with him. So
well, he's got 2 rooms now. He's got his sewing room and he has that room that he does his videos in too.
Right. So, but he's going to want it all under one roof, all under in the same room in the same location.
Yeah.
So
that's why I said on Mona's, she increased my house to a palace, and I said, "Okay, everybody, we'll be sewing in the Great Hall now."
So yeah, Barry's got a shed coming. You all don't. It's taking over the living room. Oh, Barry. So, but it's gonna. Well, you know what? If you spend a lot of your time quilting, you don't need the living room.
That's right.
However, my husband will not give up the living room. So
Well, and it's easier for Barry too because
he's
does
alone.
Barry just live with Steve? Steve is his dog.
Hey, Tasha. I'm surprised you're awake. You were up really late with William and Jess and
Hi,
Rita.
Tasha.
She was up really late sewing on her quilt. And if y'all have not seen Tasha's quilt, y'all need to head over there and then
She says she's surprised too.
yeah, you guys were well, it wasn't quite 4 hours, but I know when I woke up, the live had just ended like 38 minutes earlier. So Judy says she's in 3 rooms and I'm slowly taking over the dining room.
Oh, Barry, I have stuff in my bedroom, the living room, the kitchen, and this room. I also have stuff in my basement. So that's 5 different places. The only thing that is sacred and my stuff does not get allowed in is the bathroom, which is on the other side of that wall.
Yeah, so I saw Kelly in the background. I was looking carefully, Deb. I was watching carefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but Barry's gonna have a shed because Barry, if you ladies, if you ladies and Jim, if you think or any other male that's on here, if you think you have it bad, you need to check out Barry because that guy's got it bad. I've never seen anybody go ahead and buy. Oh, Barry, just go ahead and buy you a quilt store. Because I've never seen anybody start quilting, buy a long arm in 6
In
months.
6 months, yeah.
Oh, Tasha, you've got that huge space in your basement. That huge space. I would be happy for that space. But y'all, seriously, Deb and we have to go because I have to get lunch prepared and be back on here at 11 o'clock to keep whoever chooses to keep us company back at 11 here. Did I say that? Back at 11. Plus I gotta eat something. I'm so hungry.
Oh, Andrea's quilting even takes it into the bathroom.
Yeah, my quilting hasn't quite made it to the bathroom yet.
She saw dog ears on the floor in there just this morning. They must have been on her socks. That's funny.
But I don't know what we're getting up to. I don't know what anybody's sewing because I am hosting this week. I will probably just work on that thing behind because I cannot sew on a live without a whole bunch of seam ribbon.
Yeah.
Yes, be blessed, less stress, and pick some fabric today. Got a lot of fabric. So we will see you all in a little bit. For those of you who do not come back, we will see you next time around. And y'all have a good day. Have a blessed day. Be safe weather-wise. Go out and do something fun. And we will see you all later.
Bye.
Bye.